There are spoilers for the first 12 episodes of Solo Leveling. I don't think you're here for the story, but if you don't want to be spoiled, Ezra, you're fine to watch this one. Solo Leveling is a recent anime adapted from a manhwa of the same name, and I'm not gonna lie, it slaps. Although it follows a mostly basic story pattern, it executes on everything to the utmost degree, and it truly understands me and my gamer brain. So let's just talk about how good it is. In a world that's similar to Earth, portals began opening that led to video game-like dungeons. If the dungeons are left unattended for too long, they open and release their monsters unto the world. But along with those dungeons, many people on Earth awakened, gaining new powers and ranks. This led to them becoming hunters. The catch is, once you've awakened, you cannot progress in power. Some hunters awaken as an S rank, while others awaken as an E rank, and they have no say in the matter. Enter Sung Jin-Woo. He's just a normal guy who awakened. But he became an E rank. In an attempt to pay for his mother's medical bills and his sister's schooling, he decides to go on dungeon raids attempting to make money. Problem is, he's weak. Really weak. I mean like weakest of the E ranks weak. But that doesn't stop him, and he keeps on going on raids, although he continuously gets hurt over and over again, which continues into episode 1. Sung Jin-Woo goes on what is supposed to be a normal raid, but at the very end of it, they find a hidden passage that leads to a secret boss room, which ends up obliterating half of his party. Using pure wits, Sung Jin-Woo is able to save the other half, but in the process of doing so, they have to abandon him. He is promptly beaten to a bloody pulp, but right before he dies, he gets a prompt allowing him to become a player, and the true story begins. In that moment, Sung Jin-Woo reawakens, but this is unlike any other reawakening in the history of the world. He is now able to make himself stronger by doing quests and killing enemies. We now get the power trip that everyone is here for. Sung Jin-Woo goes from being the weakest character that has no abilities to a hunter that is able to upgrade himself and grow in ranking. Now, this isn't a new idea by any means. A character going from the weakest in the world to the most powerful is really common in anime. And as I said earlier, the show isn't really breaking out any new genres with this. But what it is doing is executing on every single one of those genres and tropes at a high level. The characters here are all very basic in one note, although Jin-Woo does have a little bit more depth. But overall, the characters' goals are still very interesting, and I'm especially invested in the Jeju Island raid. There's some history there that we don't know much about, and some of the characters seem very invested in that. The music for Solo Leveling is done by Hiroyuki Sawano. He did the music for Attack on Titan. Do I need to say more? Second to last, Solo Leveling does games right. The player system presented in the anime is something I wouldn't be surprised to see in a real RPG. Being unable to buy from a store at a low level or while in a raid is just something that happens, and the daily rewards are worth just enough for the inconvenience of doing them. But my favorite part by far is the divvying up of skill points. Jin-Woo puts most of his abilities in strength, and that shows in his body type and raw physical power. But later, when he becomes stronger, he realizes the usefulness of dividing things equally. And at the end of the season, he has the opportunity to change class and level up. But the new class is something completely unrelated to the strength that he's put so much work into, and that just feels like something I would do. Two small details I also wanted to mention is that when he moves his head around, the screen follows him. I know it means nothing, but I've played a lot of VR and that just feels right. Last small detail, Sung Jin-Woo says,
"I can't deny, Chuhi's B-rank healing spells have come in clutch."
And I don't think I can ever forgive him for that. But most people aren't here for the characters, or for the music, or for the gaming aspects. They're here for the animation. The animation and fights in this show are good. And I mean really freaking good. There isn't a 4-minute long monologue before somebody just throws a punch. The action is quick, bloody, and amazingly drawn. This is a fantastic show to just sit back, turn off your brain, and be like, damn. There's a reason I binged the first 12 episodes almost straight through. Some obvious mentions are the fights between Jinru and Idris, Jin-Woo and Takashi Kong, and my personal favorite fight of the entire show is Jin-Woo versus the Hunters.
EQ がなんて動くくら
When characters fight in a story, it means significantly more when that character is fighting the other person or thing for a specific reason. Sung Jin-Woo fighting Cerberus is cool, yes, but the only reason he's there is to level up and gain some items. In this fight, he realizes what he's known all along. Those in power will use that power to abuse others, and he has always been the one being abused. This is the first time we've seen how overpowered Sung Jin-Woo is, and it's highlighted by the fantastic music, fantastic character moments, and amazing animation that is in this scene.
ファンさん、あんたは強い。だけど一つ残念なことを教えてやろう。俺はな。
Overall, the first 12 episodes of Solo Leveling are fantastic to just sit back and binge. You don't need to think too hard about what's going on, but the show continuously provides interesting character moments, a good soundtrack, depth of in-game mechanics, and most importantly, fantastic animations and fantastic fight scenes. That's all for today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I've been your host, Silas Jackson. This has been Recency Bias, which isn't an anime channel. Next week I'm doing a gaming video. I don't think it'll do well because I've done like 3 anime videos in a row, but this is an anime channel. I love anime, but I want to talk about games and shows and movies and other stuff. Anyways, that doesn't matter. This has been Recency Bias. I have been your host, Silas Jackson, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.